Hello there. Happy Wednesday. Happy new moon in Pisces. Today is March 2nd, 2022. I'm Gary DeAndre, Gangsta Gurry if you're nasty, and I'm here with another deck review / new moon in Pisces intention setting. For this new moon in Pisces is getting ready to transit at 12:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you know me, you know I'm a New York doll, okay? And I thought that it would be really great for me to bust out this brand new deck that was just sent to me from Hay House Incorporated from Penguin Random House. And this is the Rose Oracle deck by Rebecca Campbell. The artwork is by Katie Louise, and I also want to pay attention. Look at that. Look at the nail set matching the Oracle card deck, okay? So we're going to unlock the sacred mysteries of the rose today. So a little bit more about Rebecca Campbell. She is a writer, poet, mystic, artist, ritualist, and mother. She has been studying the mystic arts since she was a child and consciously working with the rose since 2010. Katie Louise is an intuitive spiritual artist whose visions of the cosmos celebrate all that's pure and beautiful in our universe. She draws inspiration from the magic that surrounds us daily. So this was out on the very bottom of the deck, so you guys can see that. On the back of the deck, it says, the rose is a symbol of goddesses of old, and she holds potent medicine for these times. This oracle creates space for you to connect with her energy. Wisdom and breathtaking beauty, may her healing mysteries call you home to your true nature. So as I just stated, this was released yesterday, March 1st. And you know, I've been really enjoying getting to do these deck reviews, especially as somebody who is a spiritualist, you know, spiritual consultant, Black practitioner, Black queer practitioner to be very specific. And obviously, as we are coming throughout this new moon in Pisces, a lot of the themes that have been coming up are around our identity and having a firm foundation in who we are and claiming victory and success as we are moving throughout this transit. If you're subscribed to my Patreon, I just released something a little earlier today in regards to what we can expect for the next 6 months. But I am telling you, it's going to be really important for you to make sure that you are writing out your new moon intentions for this one. I've been reading a lot about how this is going to be a very powerful new moon for us. And I also think that this is really going to be helpful for us tapping into our psychic powers, our intuitive nature, and trusting that when our intuition is popping up, listen, it's something for us to be listening to. I actually was nudged. Excuse me, come on, Truth Burp, because that's how I know I should be sharing it. This came from my daily reading. It's Ahime Orr's Ancestors Said book, but I'm trying to find the actual thing that I posted to my friends earlier today, because I do like to send the word of the day over to my people. So let me see if I can find it, because of course now it don't want to pop up. But today's message talked about our intuition, and it says that this is our time to really just allow ourselves to step into our own personal power. Hold on, let me see if I can find it, because I know I sent it. Here we go. Trusting your intuition means you must stop constantly looking for validation elsewhere to check if it's correct. You have that validation inside of you, and this is just a reminder that that validation is already around you. You already know what the hell you're supposed to be doing. So let's go ahead and we're going to pop this open. As you can see, the plastic is still on it. That's how you know the doll has not even opened it yet. So I'm really excited to get into this Rose Oracle deck. See what she's giving, see how she feels in my hand, see if the nature of the cards are really speaking on something. So let's go ahead and see. Put that over to the side. Listen, I love that the way that you open the deck. Ooh, child. You pop her open. Ooh, ha. This is a really cute, okay, this is a really cute way to hold a deck, okay? And it says, unlock the sacred mysteries of the rose. So, the first card, oh, you guys can see what it says right here. I'm going to take this off. Boom, 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 boom. And on the front of this, first off, let's get into the back of these cards. Aren't they beautiful? Ooh, child, these are beautiful. It says the Rose Oracle Attunement. On the back of this card, you will find the Rose Oracle Attunement Altar card. You can use the attunement to ritually connect with your Oracle and Mother Rose each time you use it. So, let's see what this says. So let's go ahead. I love that this comes with like an attunement. And it's the first card that's in the deck. So it's like, here's how you use me. I love when something is very just like, bam, like this is how you use me. This is how you get into me. And I also love that we also have going on in the background a spirit guide contact healing frequency. It says communication starts with recognition. These frequencies help bridge the gap that separate you from your spirit guide. So I love that my spirit guides are already coming into the room, and maybe yours are coming into the room too. So I'm going to go ahead, set the intention for this deck. It says, Mother Rose, you who were present long before we, and you who will continue after we're gone, bless this oracle and all who use it. May it be a gateway for all to return to ourselves, the earth, and each other. May our connection with the voice of our soul be made stronger with every use. May all who touch it feel cherished, held, loved, softened, and seen. May it deliver insight, understanding, compassion, and guidance that's in the highest interest of all beings, past, present, and future. When I'm holding space for another, help me to step out of the way and invite others to connect with the wisdom that exists deep within them. Guide me and all who use it to embrace our ever-changing true nature and the seasons of our lives with compassion, understanding, and grace. Show us how we can plant ourselves here more deeply than ever before. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My nose started itching, so I can already tell this is about to be on it, okay? This is about to be on it. I'm excited. So this is actually a card that I will keep. You know, sometimes you get a card that like comes into a deck and it's like a little affirmation from the creator of the deck, but this feels like one that I can always read before I get into any work or get into any guidance sessions where I will be using this specific deck. I do love the feel of the cards in my hands. These remind me of I think Rebecca Campbell, if I'm not mistaken, has done a couple other Oracle decks. The name is like escaping me. Hold on, because now I need to double check. Because I know I have used one of Rebecca Campbell's Oracle decks before. The Starseed deck, the Starseed Oracle, the Work Your Light Oracle. Yes, these are all coming back to me. So this falls into that same lane of being able to work your light and being able to work that energy. So if you're familiar with a couple of her decks, you guys will know what each of these cards kind of like represent. So they seem kind of like affirmations for this very moment in time. We have the bloom. We have the breathing rose. I'm trying to read these backwards. We have the brothers to the rose. We have the bud. So all of these feel like they have to do with flowers. The child within. Codes of the seeds. Come to me. The crowing. The crowning. Ooh, not the crowing, the crowning. The fertile void, the grandmothers. Ooh, child, can't read these backwards. The great mother. Healing is happening. Healing the mother line. This is help. Is this help? Held. The Holy Grail. Lineage of the Rose. Morning Dew. These are all very gentle. The Mother Rose. These are all very gentle. If you're looking for something that's like a very gentle guidance for you, I feel like this would be a great place for you to start. Open. We love the imagery as well. These feel very ethereal. This is Rapture. Here, I'm going to look at it this way. Release the petals. The Return. The Reunion. The Rose Garden, the Rose of Venus. This is the Rose Thread, Rose Without Thorns, the Sacred Union, the Sacred Waters, the Second Bloom, Sophia, Sub Rosa, the Sun, Temple of the Rose, the Thorn, Trust the Seasons, the Wastelands, We Are Nature, and Whispers of Mother Earth, and the Wild Rose. So, as I'm just like looking at these cards I love that they just feel very gentle. I love the color pink. Okay, I love a good pink. As you can see, my set is a little pink right now. One of the nails over here fell off, but that's not important right now. Okay, body. So this is feeling like this is a very gentle way for us to receive some affirmation. And I do love it because we know that Pisces is very ethereal, it's very sensitive, it's very soft. So I feel like this deck is coming out at a perfect time for us to receive some additional guidance. I've been doing my own little research on what this new moon is going to bring in. So it's really like a series of transformation for us and for us to really take it easy through these seasons of change. As we know that the astrological new year is about to begin as we step into Aries season. So that's going to be in the middle of the month of March, I think around March 20th, March 21st, if I'm not mistaken. So I want you guys to think about, or you all to think about how you are stepping into this new season of beginning and this new opportunity for you to bloom, to start anew. Spring is springing. The weather has been changing, and I feel like the Rose Oracle is here as kind of like a guide as we step into the spring season. So I can see myself using this a lot for myself weekly or bi-weekly, using this with clients when they need just like, you know, sometimes you have somebody that needs a little bit of affirmation, but they don't need it with like a heavy hitting hand. This feels like one that you can use for a soft nature. I like to look into the guidebook, but I do want to read what the back of the book says. It says, may the healing mysteries of Mother Rose help you remember the future garden seated within. A secret symbol of goddesses of old, the rose holds ancient wisdom and potent medicine for these times. This soulful, deep-rooted guidebook will help you connect with the healing energy of the rose, return to your ever-unfolding true nature, be in tune with the changing seasons of your life, and hear the voice within. This activating oracle opens the doorway to the physical and spiritual teachings of the rose. May the healing mysteries of Mother Rose call you home to your own true nature and plant your soul even more deeply than before. Amen and Ashe, baby. Okay, so in the very beginning of this book, you know, just to give you guys a little bit more context, the call of the rose. So I feel like this is Rebecca's way of talking through, you know, her acknowledgments. She talks about how Mother Rose has been whispering to her. It gives a little bit more insight as to following the rose thread and what that means for her, what creating with the roses means. She talks a lot about like returning to the garden and what that means for her being deeply rooted in like herself, paying attention to how roses bloom and just like the cycle of roses. It seems like this is all of her inspiration as to why this deck has come into fruition. And it talks about the ancient roots of the rose, where roses come from, what they mean in myths and in legends, what they mean in Celtic, yes, goddess worship, and how the rose has been a secret and a mystery and a symbol and what they mean as far as medicinal purposes and whatnot. And then also gives us a little bit more information as how we as healers can use this deck. Healers, mystics, herbalists, artists, saints, poets, and visionaries. And how we have been awestruck by the rose, its beauty, its love. And I feel like this is what this deck is supposed to be bringing forth. But this is an opportunity for us to use this in order to provide a little bit of love in the lives of people around us. I've already, did the little intention setting. So we're going to shift our space in our mind. And it gives a little intention for us to use the rose as a gateway. So it says, Mother Rose, bless these cards and speak through them. Reveal to us what's helpful for us to remember and know. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go ahead and let's step into what Mother Rose has to offer to us on today. So I'm going to shuffle it up just a little bit, just to, get the cards nice and maneuvered around just a little bit. And then I'm going to see 2 to 3 cards is kind of like what I'm getting for our intention. And just to help us provide a little bit of advice for what this new moon is helping us to bloom into beautifully. So they're saying shuffle it 4. Shuffle it 3. Hold on. There we go. 3. Oh, okay. We're getting closer. Shuffle it 2. And one more time. Now, throw a little Reiki energy in here. Yeah. Can I get 2 cards worth of a message? Not that many. Are these the 2? Yes, they are the 2. Bam. So let's see what our two messages are to affirm us for this new moon in Pisces that we are getting ready to step into. If you're still here, thank you so much for being here with me and for receiving these messages from the divine source, from the rose garden. Let's see what we got. We have the rapture, and we have rapture and the return. So rapture says sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. Again, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. And we have the return, a new story. You decide, alignment is coming together. A new story. You decide, alignment, it's coming together. So these two cards together make me feel like we are in this period right now of really tapping into our own divine alignment, knowing that sometimes things have to be released in order for new things to become a part of our reality. And we are getting into alignment. We are starting a new chapter as we are stepping into this Pisces new moon energy. I want you to think about throughout the rest of this year, what are some of the new stories that you are beginning? This reminds me of something I read a couple of days ago. If you looked at my week ahead energy, we're at this place of a fresh start. And when we think of a fresh start, when I think of the rapture, I think of certain energies being removed out of our space and being removed out of our energetic field. So that way we have an opportunity to step into something brand new. If we look at the imagery in this card, with the rapture, it's kind of like breathing new life into something. And then the return is a sense of an unfolding. It's a sense of a blooming right now. So where are you blooming in your life? What is this new moon allowing you to bloom into, whether it is self-confidence, whether it is a new love, whether it is a new partnership, whether it is new community that you are stepping into. We know that this is a 3 months, so this is really about us knowing that we are not made to do this alone, and also allowing us to be tapped into the body, allow us to be tapped into a different sense of love and a different sense of partnership that we have with ourselves, and you get to decide what is in alignment for you. Romance, ecstasy, pleasure, allowing yourself to feel good, allowing yourself to feel connected, allowing yourself to feel at ease is what's being suggested right now. And it's all about you getting to decide what that looks like. You don't have to answer this for anybody else except for yourself, okay? And you get to decide what feels pleasurable, what feels good. Are you doing things because you feel like you should be, or are you allowing other people to dictate what it is that makes you feel good or makes you feel connected to life all around you? You get to make the decision and know that it is all coming together. It's not all the way together just yet. Let me reiterate. It's not all the way together just yet, but it is coming together. What does that mean for you? What is coming together? What is forming at this point and at this juncture of your life? You get to decide what the new story is. So what you gonna do? So let's get into the rapture card. First, let's see what the rapture says. All right. So rapture says, Flora is the ancient Roman goddess of spring and flowers. In one myth, she was struck by Cupid's arrow and overwhelmed by love and completely breathless in a moment of rapture. She called for arrows. However, the sound ros came out of her mouth instead. So ros became another word for eros, and it also became the symbol for love, beauty, and passion. I love that we get to learn as we are doing this card pull, because I didn't even know that, and I feel like a smart bean right now. It says, many patriarchal religions have placed a shameful cloak around sensuality, sex, pleasure, ecstasy, rapture, and sexuality. One of the most natural, pleasurable parts of life has become conditional and judged. The rose wants us to heal from this and to remember that pleasure, sensuality, sexual preference, and expression of desire can be some of the most sacred, miraculous things about being a human on earth. This card comes with a message about receiving and giving love and pleasure. Flora wants you to know that your sensuality, your passion, and your sexuality, no matter how you identify, are sacred and holy. She wants you to connect with your central true nature and to celebrate this in all people. So this makes me think about, I don't know why, but it makes me think about those that are struggling to accept their version of their sensuality and their sexuality. I know that for me personally, I've come from a place of not being accepted for being gay. I've come from a place of feeling like I had to hide that piece of myself, or feeling like other people are always externally judging it. And whether or not they are, that shouldn't have anything to derail or affect how I choose to show up in this world. And this could be a reminder for somebody that could be at the very beginning of their quote unquote coming out journey, or just realizing that they may not be, cis heterosexual or what have you. This could be like a sign for anybody that is, potentially wanting to transition. Like maybe this is your season to really start stepping into the fullness of your identity in whatever way that means, and also allowing others to see you as the way that you see yourself, but showing up in the way that you see fit. This could be dressing differently. This could be showing up with different colored clothing. This also encourages me to start thinking about the clothes that I do wear, and maybe just putting on things that make me feel a little more sexy. You feel what I'm saying? And the rose transmission here, it says, my sensuality is sacred and holy. So when I think of the word sensuality, I think of what makes you feel good, what makes you feel sexy, what makes you feel, connected, what makes you feel divine. And knowing that that is what is sacred and holy. It says other people's sensuality is sacred and holy. I open myself up to express and receive love in a way that feels safe and good to me. I release painful programming and experiences and return to love. What does it mean for you to return to love? And I find it very ironic that it says to return to love, and the next card is the return. You've waited patiently for this moment. You've likely been working on the inner for some time, and now the outer is beginning to come into alignment. As changing begins, we're in a never-ending growth cycle. This doesn't mean we're constantly in bloom. No, this means that we're constantly changing. This card is like the bloom. However, it's more powerful than that. It heralds the coming and going of a whole new way of being. An entirely new story has been written. This card heralds a great shift in your life. This often takes time, sometimes even lifetimes. Acknowledge how far you've come and how much you've grown. You're a part of creating change, not only in your own life, but in the world. Take a moment to take it in. Doesn't that feel good? Because even as I'm reading this, I'm like, this is life-changing for me. And I also know that this is something that may be affirming for somebody else that needed to hear it out there. As we heal, we're healing others around us, and it may not even be the people that we are intending to heal, but somebody is receiving that healing, somebody is receiving that truth because of you living your truth. So how do you allow yourself to be light and be shining from every single mountaintop that you would like to? You get to deserve that. It says you're one of just many, but your being matters. Your being here matters. A petal in the rose of a new humanity, part of the forever unfolding. Things are aligning for you and around you. They're convening and coming together. You're in the right place at the right time. Your outer world matches your inner world. This card is delivering a message of harmony, coming together, and the embodiment of holding a clear vision for many years. You have been doing the groundwork to get to this moment right here, perhaps for months, years, or even lifetimes. Use this moment. You get to decide what's next. Okay, come on, Truth Bert. You get to decide what's next. So what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? The Rose Transmission says, I acknowledge how far I've come and how much I've grown. I decide what happens next. I acknowledge how far I've come and how much I've grown. I decide what happens next. I acknowledge how far I've come and how much I've grown. I decide what happens next. So what have you decided? What's coming up next? And that's why you should be setting these intentions around what the next leg of your journey looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and say it to y'all. You're gonna see me on somebody's TV show one day. You know what I mean? If it's not my own TV show, you're gonna see me on somebody's television screen doing my thug thizzle, okay? What else do I see coming into this next version of my life? Me talking about the journey of just, going through the darkness and coming back to the light and not being scared to do that. Me putting myself in situations and around people that I'm not feeling triggered by. And knowing that I have done a lot of work to be in this space to talk about, the hurts that I've been through. To talk about the difficult times that I've been through and not feel ashamed or not feel like people can't receive it. I've worked very hard to get to this place to even be able to do what I'm doing with you all right now. And I know that there is an opportunity for others to be able to learn from me, even if I don't recognize it in this moment. It's part of my projector nature. I'm fully stepping into being in a leadership role without being fearful of how it's going to be seen and how it's going to be received, and knowing that this is my time. This is my time. This is your time. And being a spiritual leader, not just, being fearful of what it means to step into the light, and know that, I have been working towards this for some years, but didn't even recognize it. And now I feel fully ready. Now I feel fully complete. And now I feel fully prepared to truly step into my own light. And listen, it seems like tapping into that rose energy is going to be really powerful as I step into this season. So again, this is the Rose Oracle. Listen, I'm gonna put it back together so that way y'all can see how beautiful this deck is. I would suggest anybody that is looking for a cute little snatch to purchase this. As I said, this came out yesterday. You can find it on Hay House. You can probably also find it on Rebecca's website, RebeccaCampbell.me, or www.sheisluminous, LUMINOUS.com, to help you unlock the sacred mysteries of the rose. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope that this new moon is very gentle for you. I know that people are saying it's going to be a little but I'm hoping that it does bring in a sense of peace and a sense of love as you are going throughout this transit of your life. Let me know in the comments below if this was something that felt great for you. If you are feeling yourself being reborn, if you're feeling yourself stepping into a new sense of your light, and what that feels like for you as you're going throughout this season, okay? Kisses and hugs. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for watching. We'll check in again very soon. Peace.